welcome back to my channel. So I could not wait to make this video about Daonte and Nicolle because I have a lot to say about them last night in the episode of Life After Lockup. So Daonte's been really lonely since Nicolle left him for Tia, so he went out on a blind date with this girl that his best friend Derek set him up on. And her hair kind of gave me Ronald McDonald vibes, but she was very beautiful. So Daonte told her, hey, I don't really like doing this blind date stuff. It's kind of awkward for me. And he brought her a big bouquet of flowers and decided to do a little date going paddle boating around the lake. And I feel like the producer should have took this big bouquet of flowers out of this girl's hand because the whole time she had to hold them while she was going paddle boating. And Daonte told his date that Derek did a good job with her. She's really fine. She told Daonte he was fine also. You could tell that she was definitely feeling him. And Daonte decided to try something different. And Derek told him, hey, this girl, she's fine. She's got her own car. She's got her own place. She's got her own money. And Daonte says he can tell that she's not all high maintenance, all out here in heels and all that like Nicolle was. And Daonte says he's trying to move on, but he can't get Nicolle out of his mind. He says he hasn't spoken to her in over 4 months. So Daonte asked his date, I gotta know, how the heck are you still single with how beautiful you are? And she says she tends to attract the wrong men. The last guy she was with used her as a rebound for the chick that he's just broken up with. Then she asked Daonte, I could ask you the same thing. You're a good looking man. Why are you single? And she asked Daonte, what type of girls do you usually date? And Daonte says, honestly, you're the first girl that I've been out with in a while that doesn't have a criminal record. And he explained to her the last 2 girls he dated were inmates. And his date couldn't believe it. She seemed confused. She said, with an inmate? Like, why? So Daonte explained the first inmate he dated, it didn't work out. And then he said the last one, she ended up using him really bad. He sent her thousands of dollars while she was in prison, bought her everything she ever wanted, and then she never gave him none of the kitty cat and dipped out. And Daonte made the same mistake he made with Nicolle. He told Nicolle what his previous girl used him for and everything she got out of him. So Nicolle was like, hey, she did it, I can do it too. And Daonte, he should have held some of that info back. He didn't have to tell his date that he sent Nicolle thousands of dollars because I'm sure his date isn't one of those type of people, but somebody who is like Nicolle, their ears are going to perk up when they hear something like that. And Daonte's date couldn't believe all this stuff. She's like, for real? She didn't give you none? And Daonte's like, I don't think she owes me anything, but I have a high sex drive. I know that's TMI. And Daonte's date was talking to producers, and she's like, yeah, it's kind of awkward, the conversation, but he has a nice body. He's handsome. He's nice. So Daonte's date says, you know I'm kind of being forward, but would you like to go on another date with me? And Daonte was like, oh, you're interested like that? And Daonte said, well, I'm not really trying to rush anything, but yeah, I'd like to go on another date with you. But the thing is, Daonte didn't really seem that interested because you can tell, and he even said it after his date, he still isn't over Nicolle. And if you're not over Nicolle, you need to take time to heal, because if you go out with someone else, not only are you wasting your time, you're wasting their time too. And the girl just told you that her ex used her as someone for a rebound, and you don't want to put that girl through that again and make her be another rebound. And Daonte said his date was beautiful. She isn't petite, but she has a good shape on her. And he says the best thing of all, she doesn't have a criminal record. And Daonte says despite all that, he can't get Nicolle out of his head. He says he misses when his phone would go off and he would get so excited hoping it was her. And he misses laughing at each other's jokes and them hanging out together. But here's the thing. Daonte is in love with the idea of love, what he wants love to be. He's in love with the idea of what Nicolle can be, not the reality of who she really is. And he needs to take his blinders off, stop being gullible, and realize this girl don't give a F about you. She only gives a F about what you can do for her. And I want to show you guys a small clip from a live that Daonte did with someone on Instagram a few minutes ago. I'm gonna upload the full live here after I'm done with this video, but here's a clip, and I think it's kind of interesting and goes along with what we're talking about, because after Daonte's date, he suddenly decides he's gonna go visit Nicolle and try to win his woman back. Well, in the show, it made it sound like he hadn't spoke with her in over 4 months. In this live, he admitted that Nicolle was texting him, and that's why he showed up. He said he didn't just show up randomly. It's because Nicolle had been asking him to.
No, man, but that cat reached out to me. I got all of her text messages. That's why I went over there, but they made it look like I just popped up out the blue. I ain't seen that chick in 4 months at that point.
Really?
And she reached out to me, so
they make it look like that.
At that time,
make everything look like that.
So Daonte says he feels like he's at the end of his rope. He has a lot of time and money and effort invested into this relationship. He doesn't want to just give up so easily, so he goes to Nicolle's house, knocks on the door, and her mom's in the backyard cleaning out the pool. So she's like, hey, back here, and Daonte goes back there to talk to her mom. And Nicolle's mom was being super rude to Daonte. She said, Nicolle's sleeping. You shouldn't be here. And it was just driving me up the wall, because we're not going to see this in the episode. I found this out from Daonte myself after Nicolle's mom spoke up about it on Reddit. But Daonte, when him and Nicolle were together before she cheated on him with Zach, Daonte won a good chunk of money at the casino. He gave Nicolle a good chunk of it, and he gave her mom $1,000. He didn't have to do that. And after you gave her a whole rack, this is how she treats you. Yes, I know Daonte should have given up on Nicolle. He shouldn't have shown back up at the house, but you think she could be a little bit more respectful towards him. And Nicolle's mom, she was all mad Daonte showed up, and she almost hit him in the face with the pool net. So Daonte told Nicolle's mom, look, I didn't come here to talk to Nicolle. I came here to talk to you. And Daonte told Nicolle's mom, look, I love Nicolle. I miss her. You're the one who's closest, Nicolle. So I feel like you can talk some sense into her. And Daonte says, look, I don't want to sound like I'm pressed for sex or anything, but I gave this girl all my love and affection, and I just want the same in return. So Nicolle's mom said, let me get this straight. You want to get Nicolle back so you can be in a relationship you're not happy in and you feel like you're not getting what you want out of. And Nicolle's mom told Daonte, look, she don't owe you anything. If you're in a relationship and you're not getting what you want out of it, then you leave. That's how a relationship works. So Nicolle's mom said she doesn't have to have sex with you. And if you don't like it, then kick rocks. And Nicolle's mom asked Daonte, have you talked to Nicolle about all this? And Daonte says, no, she hasn't been answering my calls, replying to my texts. And Nicolle's mom said, well, obviously, she doesn't want to talk to you. And Nicolle's mom said if Nicolle wakes up and finds out that Daonte is outside, she is going to lose her mother effing mind. And Nicolle's mom told Daonte, I think you overstayed your welcome. You need to leave now. So Nicolle's mom goes inside, and Nicolle wakes up, and Nicolle looked like she lost that weight like how Destiny did when she started doing drugs, or how Puppy did. And Nicolle thought she was going to get out of prison and everything was going to be great. And she says things are great, but she's had COVID twice. And Nicolle says she's still trying to bounce back from that. But Nicolle's mom spilled the tea to Nicolle that Daonte was just here and he had just left, and Nicolle was like, for what? So her mom said, well, he wanted me to tell you that he still loves you, and the only thing that he was angry about is he feels like you owe him sex and he never got it. And Nicolle said, he said that? And she's like, well, not exactly like that, but pretty much. And Nicolle says since her and Daonte have broken up, she's been with Tia and things have been going good. But Nicolle says she misses Daonte and how he took care of her. And this video is a lot longer than I thought. I still have half of their part to recap and talk about. So I'm going to do this in 2 parts. So I'll be uploading the other video here probably a little later. But that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts so far in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for watching.